So what are the first steps if I want to become vegetarian?
That's a great question. I think one of the first things you have to consider if you're wanting to change your lifestyle and become a vegetarian is to do your research. See if it's really something for you. What are your motivations? Why do you want to become a vegetarian? Do your research, see what's out there. Does a vegetarian really appeal to you? Maybe in concept, yes, but in the practicality, when you're researching the type of foods, are these things that appeal to you? You don't have to like them right away, but is this something that you're willing to explore and look at? So that's definitely something that you need to do, is do your research. And if you do decide that's the way that you want to go, it's important to consult someone like a healthcare professional, whether it be your doctor, if you have any existing health conditions, to make sure that it's okay for you to move on with that lifestyle choice, or to consult with a dietitian who can really help you change your lifestyle, but make sure you're getting the nutrition that you need to do that.
I agree, because for me, for example, I saw a documentary, and that's why I wanted to be vegan. And I'm an extremist, and I did 100%. And because of that, because I was an athlete, I went to see a nutritionist to make sure that I wasn't lacking any nutrients. But some people, it might not be a documentary; it could be just curiosity. And whatever reason you want to do it at, we always talked about book online. There's so many information, but people ask me all the time, "What should I do?" And I'm not a professional. I could give ideas, but if you want to do it the right way, to make sure that it could work for you and do it with food that you like, you got to consult someone. And that's, I think, the easiest and the best way to do something.
I agree in you guys' opinions. Like, it's really important to have the good information, to not do it in a wrong way and have like more problem with your health, because going vegetarian could really increase your health in a big way. That was the choice, like why I personally became a vegetarian. And then like you need to try again. I feel becoming a vegetarian will be a total different way of cooking, different culinary techniques, different food, different types of vegetables, of grain maybe you never used or ate before. So it will be for sure the first time you do it yourself at home. It might not be a 10 out of 10, it might not be perfect. So team up with like other people in your neighborhood, in your city that is vegetarian. Go out to vegetarian restaurant to get some inspiration on like, oh, they're doing their smoothie like this. And so then you could keep trying and you will get better at it and it will become awesome.
So should I do the transition progressively or drastically?
So that also is a great question. It really depends on the person. And like Georges was saying, he's someone who's very extreme, very self-disciplined. So he can go from 0 to 100 no problem and change his lifestyle in a day if he wanted to, I'm sure. But for most of us, we fall somewhere in between. So from what I've seen as a dietitian with clients and making lifestyle changes, for example, losing weight or becoming a vegetarian, it's the same idea. You're changing your lifestyle. So small measurable goals tend to help. If you want to eliminate red meat first, then focus on that and help, get the nutrients that you're lacking from other places, and then move on to poultry, et cetera, et cetera. So that tends to work best for most people, but there's always exceptions to the rule.
But and I have to agree with her, because when I used to do conference about veganism and to explain people why they should eat meat, in the beginning I used to give people ideas on doing things, and everyone that I consulted and I helped got sick. It didn't work for them because it was too extreme. I was trying to be radical to them and cut everything at 100%, and it didn't work. And it went to a point that they thought that veganism wasn't for them. And it's just because I was telling them to do things too fast. Because I want everybody to be like me. I want people to catch up, to do something right now for the animals, for the environment. I don't want people to wait. I don't want people to wait a month for a transition. It's too long. Do it now. You know what's going on now. That's the way that I am. And I know that's the wrong way to do things. You have to go slow. We always have to go slow for things to work. And slow is too slow. You have one life to live. What if you die tomorrow? What are you going to do about it? Like, that's why I'm like, that's the way that I am. I'm passionate about it. Yeah. So that's why now that I know that it's more effective to go slow. What you could go slow with somebody else, with a professional. Well, me, I'm going to stay intense and give my message. And then once they want advice, go see you. And it's going to work better.
What a professional can do for you. I mean, if you go to see a dietitian, or what is a process? What do you go through with the person?
Well, me, when I decided to be vegan, I didn't know what to eat, and I was afraid about the protein question. I was a fighter. I needed muscle strength, energy. I had no idea. I thought I was going to die because I had the same stereotype that everybody has about veganism. But I decided to do it for animals and for the environment and for my health. But people were saying that because you do sport, it's not going to work out. So I went to a nutritionist and I said all the things to her. I said, well, I don't know what's going to happen to me, but what should I do? And then she told me all, it was bad stereotypes, and she told me what to eat, how to replace what a protein was, because like many people, I thought protein was meat, right? I didn't know it was a combination of amino acid and what amino acid was and type of food that you could combine together and all that stuff, right? So when you learn all that stuff, it was easy, but in the beginning, I didn't know. And to me, I learned so many things that I was like, wow.
It's a lot of education.
Yeah, and that to me, it was the key. And there's no internet or book that I could have got that could have helped me as good because I sat down with someone, it was easier. You give your concern and she talks to you, it's much easier. The internet doesn't talk back to you. You go in there, how can I be vegetarian?
Google.
A million things will show up, right? And then you're gonna be like, where do I pick, right? Talk to somebody, way easier.
But are there any resources or websites or things that can help us plan out, like when we're at home, even if we see a professional? Or is
there is. There's tons of stuff out there online, and if you want more of a person-to-person contact, also this is the chance you got to go see the restaurant, like vegetarian restaurant or restaurant that do offer like vegan options, groups, vegan group, vegetarian groups, association that will just gather to do picnics or potlucks or recipe share.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's even like in the grocery store, it's important to equip yourself well to do this transition and not just remove those products. Now that I'm vegetarian, I remove dairy, I remove meat, but to slowly put something back, on the table. And okay, I take out the milk, I put rice milk, and then I take out the rice milk and I put like fresh almond milk I make myself, and that my friend showed me how to do it. So like online, there's lots of video, lots of recipes, and also like a place where you could meet other people to simply share information.
Yeah, and you're talking about different foods and new foods, but there's probably new kitchen tools or things.
Yes, kitchen techniques as well. So it's important to, and you don't want to be radical and then you could see this, it's gonna cost a lot because now I have to change all my tools and get a Vitamix and a dehydrator and a food processor. It's like, it's optional. With a blender, like I've taught some cooking classes in Brazil where there's no way people have a Vitamix or a dehydrator, and the kitchen is like super small, but you can do anything if you adapt yourself. So it's all about plant. What you need first is a garden or like a source where you can get vegetable and plant, and then you can transform them yourself.
And actually talking about cost, a lot of people always ask me, it's more expensive. I don't have any money, I can be vegan. Well, I tell them, come with me to the grocery store because what costs the most is meat and dairy stuff, right? Everybody needs vegetables anyway. If you don't buy vegetables, you're lacking something in your diet, whether you're a meat eater or not. So buying grains costs nothing. So, and people will be surprised if you just go on a vegetarian diet, like how cheap it is just to go to groceries. So money is never an issue if you want to adopt that lifestyle.
And I think that's two really great points that they brought up in terms with the misconceptions with vegetarian lifestyle. And the benefit of seeing somebody who knows about it is because we think, it's expensive, it doesn't taste good, it's not something that I would be interested in. But those are two things that are definitely old myths. So it's definitely very cost effective to become a vegetarian or a vegan and to have things that taste good that you still want to eat. And so that's the benefit of coming to see someone. Or there's resources online as well just to get a general idea. If you just want information, obviously it doesn't talk back to you. That's the benefit of seeing someone that could be personalized information. But places like SOSCuisine.com, which is available worldwide, they have menu plans that are actually geared with the help of dietitians to make sure that you have nutritional adequacy. So that's really great for someone to say, okay, what does it look like for me to eat in one day or a week? What is nutritional adequacy? What does that mean? What does it look like? What kind of foods do I need to eat? So that's important to consider as well.
You've all mentioned a vegan diet during the discussion. So next I'd like to know more about veganism, if you'd like.